18-year-old Emily was home alone for the weekend. Her parents had gone on a last-minute getaway, leaving her to take care of the family's historic creaky house. Emily relished the solitude, enjoying her newfound freedom and independence. The first night was peaceful, and Emily spent her time catching up on her favorite books. However, as the hours passed, she began to notice something unusual. Faint whispers, barely audible, seemed to emanate from the walls. She dismissed them as the result of her overactive imagination, but they persisted. The following night, the whispers grew louder and more distinct. They seemed to be coming from the walls themselves, as if the very structure of the house was speaking to her. Emily felt a chill down her spine, her unease mounting with each whispered word she couldn't quite make out. And on the third night, the whispers reached a crescendo impossible to ignore. Emily couldn't understand the words, but the voices seemed desperate, as if they were trapped and trying to communicate. She ventured closer to the walls, pressing her ear against the cold, ancient wood. The whispers now revealed fragmented phrases, fragments of stories and secrets from the past. They spoke of a tragedy that had befallen the house, of lives lost and promises broken. Emily's curiosity turned to unease as she tried to decipher the stories trapped within the walls. Determined to uncover the truth, Emily decided to explore the house, room by room. She followed the whispers, which led her to a small, forgotten attic. The space was filled with old trunks and dusty relics from generations past. It was here that the voices were the strongest. In the attic, Emily found a journal, its pages yellowed with age. As she read through the entries, she discovered a dark tale of a family that had once lived in the house. They had experienced inexplicable phenomena, whispers in the walls, and a haunting sense of being watched. The journal spoke of a tragic night when the family had fled the house, leaving behind their belongings and the truth about the strange occurrences. It seemed that the house itself held a dark secret, one that had driven the family to abandon it, never to return. As Emily read, she felt a presence behind her, and she turned to find a shadowy figure standing in the attic. It was a woman, dressed in antique clothing, her eyes filled with sadness. The woman extended a hand toward Emily, and the whispers in the walls grew more urgent. Emily knew she had to confront the presence in the attic to uncover the truth of the house's haunted past. But as she reached out to touch the woman's hand, she felt a powerful force pulling her into the darkness. Trapped in the attic, Emily felt a chilling force pulling her deeper into the darkness. The room around her seemed to warp and shift, as if she had entered another time and place. The shadowy woman's eyes never left her, and the whispers from the walls grew more intense. Emily found herself in a different era, surrounded by the same family whose journal she had discovered. They moved about the attic, their faces etched with despair. Emily realized she had been transported to the night of the family's final escape from the house, reliving their terror. The whispers in the walls now formed coherent words, recounting the family's tragic story. They spoke of a malevolent presence within the house, a force that had tormented them for generations. The family had tried to flee, but the entity had bound them to the attic, trapping their souls in a relentless cycle of despair. The shadowy woman who had reached out to Emily was revealed as the matriarch of the family, the one who had penned the journal. She implored Emily for help, her eyes filled with longing for release. Emily understood that the key to breaking the curse lay in the journal. She began to read aloud the journal entries, hoping that by sharing the family's story, she could set them free. As the words filled the attic, a blinding light enveloped the room, and the tormented family gradually faded into the ethereal. When the light dissipated, Emily found herself back in the present, the attic quiet and empty. The whispers in the walls were silenced, and the ancient wood seemed to sigh with relief. The family's souls had found peace, released from their torment. Emily realized that the house's dark secret had been exposed, and she knew she had a responsibility to preserve the family's memory. She gathered the journal and other artifacts from the attic, determined to honor their legacy. And from that day on, the whispers in the walls never returned, and the house felt lighter, as if a weight had been lifted. Emily had played a part in setting the spirits free and had uncovered the truth of the house's haunted past. As she sat in her room, reflecting on the experience, Emily knew that some secrets were best left undisturbed. The house held a history of suffering, but it was also a reminder of the enduring power of stories and the importance of acknowledging